They've done it again like they always manage to do. Nintendo surprised the heck out of us by unveiling Nintendo Labo. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and the rumors, the hype, the sizzle all led to this moment, a 2-minute and 52-second video called First Look at Nintendo Labo, which in the simplest terms is a set of cardboard-like accessories that allow you to utilize the Switch and Joy-Con in super weird ways to play mini-game type experiences. Yeah. And it is, look, I'm going to say this. I think at first blush, either you look at this and you get chills and you think this is genius and you think this is Nintendo incorporating AR and incorporating accessories and incorporating, motion all in one, or you think that this is at an affordable price point, right? This is no $500 thing that, oh my God, they found a way to unlock some of the coolest elements of 3D printing, of VR, of AR, and you think that's awesome? Or you look at this and say, this is Nintendo trying to sell me glorified cardboard.
Well, it's not glorified cardboard. It's actually cardboard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're selling it. Let's go over the price point here, Zach. Toy-Con 1 Variety Kit is $69.99. The Toy-Con 2 Robot Kit is $79.99, so $10 premium for the robot one, but honestly the robot one kind of looks cool. A little expensive, but there's a lot that comes with it. It includes the software, of course.
Right, which is why personally I don't think the price point is outrageous. $70, it's a $60 game, and then for 10 extra bucks you're getting all of this stuff.
Well, the thing is, we don't know what the game, we don't know how much game there is a problem.
Right. I mean, I think best case scenario, this is the Wii Sports of Switch. This is something that is so inviting to play and so appealing and intriguing to people that don't even know or care about video games that it does something for Nintendo in a similar way to Wii Sports. I think the worst case scenario is that this is a very gimmicky, as you said, potentially overpriced set of cardboard if the game, which is labeled Toy-Con 1, is not that great. Now, the other set that's Toy-Con 2 is an $80 set, and that comes with the full body. I'm gonna go be the Rocketeer robot and ropes. It's not just cardboard, Gabe. There's freaking strings and canvas straps and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of DIY aspects to this. All right, so let's just get our own temperature, just very quickly. Are you impressed? Do you feel weird about it, or are you excited in any way? What does this do for you?
It is not what I wanted, but it's not something I would have even thought possible. And I think the idea that Nintendo looks to set industry standards in ways that no one can predict, I think this is one of their better attempts. Now, obviously, we haven't played it. We have no idea, although it is going to be played soon. They're already inviting people to sign up for a chance to attend a February 2nd event in New York and a March 2nd event in San Francisco. So if we didn't make it clear, this comes out April 20th, guys. So this is right around the corner. This is not fall 2018 or TBD or some idea for 2019. This is out in 3 months.
And speaking of making things clear, I do want to say this. This is, and I feel like it's obvious, but I feel like we should say it anyways. This is not catered for, the hardcore gamers. And we got to keep that in mind. This might not be for you, and that's okay. Nintendo is trying to make a grab at a more family friendly and a younger audience with this. We still have a ton of other really cool stuff coming throughout the year for us. But I'm honestly not that mad at this. I can imagine that. I haven't looked on Twitter, but the reaction, it's going to be very divisive. I know there's people that are going to just absolutely hate it without even trying it. But like you, I think I'm more just shock and surprise is my reaction.
And what I like is that this isn't, hey, let's take video games and dull them down to the point of complete simplicity for, grandma and baby brother to play. This is just a different thing. It is utilizing a game system in a completely new way to play. When Kimishima said a new way to play, he meant that to the fullest freaking extent. You are building this 3D printed cardboard into a piano, into a fishing rod, into a gas pedal, into motorbike handles, into a robot suit, into a house that then you can interact with these giant screws and hammers and things, into little RC cars. I mean, this is taking... Okay, to me, what's so impressive about this is no one, I don't care who you are, no one predicted this. No one thought that this was what they were going to do. No one thought cardboard accessories. And if it is successful, the potential is limitless. if the games are good, and maybe we shift our conversation there. If the games are good, this becomes a brilliant idea at an affordable price point that, again, gives a similar experience to the AR phenomena that has sort of, mesmerized the tech space without needing any complicated technology, without needing a supercomputer, without needing a very expensive headset, and without wires.
I'm getting way ahead of myself here because we don't even know if this thing's going to be successful or not. But if it is, I can easily see how Nintendo can just make deals with companies, right? Like imagine a Marvel like Toy-Con like kit where like you're building like a Thor hammer, like an Iron Man like mask, and like you're playing around with like a separate game. That's it's still Labo, but different. Like again, if this becomes successful, the sky's the limit really for what they can do. Whether it's fun and whether it's good, we can't attest to that. But first impressions, I think we're just both a little shocked.
Well, and it's cool from the standpoint of, hey, plastic accessories are a thing of the past. Cardboard accessories are a thing of the present. Because with cardboard accessories, you're giving people RC cards, fishing rod, house, motorbike, piano, all in a box for $70. You're not selling them a $150 Rock Band kit, right? You're not selling them the band pack for $250. You're giving them that idea of an experience at a cheaper price point. And I think a lot of this also boils down to how do these things hold up? Because they look, freaking indestructible and perfect and just God's greatest cardboard in this video. But, what's the real quality like? How does it feel to hold this fishing rod? I think it's cool that the Joy-Con integrate with all of the devices. Like, it's not just like, oh, hey, hold this fishing rod and that's like your motion thing. Like, the Joy-Con are all part of it. And it's interesting to me that 1-2-Switch focused entirely on Joy-Con usage and showing how the Joy-Con could be cool. This takes a parallel but very different approach to showing how the Joy-Con can be cool by applying them to other situations. And I want to know what you think the actual game style is. Is it just a series of mini games? Do you think it's just a single player? Is there going to be competitive stuff? How do you foresee this going from the actual Toy-Con cartridge standpoint?
I think that it has to be just minigame compilations, right? Because this is catered at such a young audience. And I feel like with that, the attention span of the average, adolescent to child being what it is, I feel like minigames is where you get them with this. And honestly, a lot of the time is probably going to be like spent like building these things and customizing them, right? Like separate from the game. And I know you wanted to talk about the game a little bit, but I do think it's minigames, but there's more. You have to make these yourselves. Like you're going to get like a flat cardboard. You have to like create these and fold these. And, that's going to be a really fun experience for, parents and their children to like be able to create these.
You think that takes more than 60 seconds?
It might, but here's what will take more than 60 seconds. The customization of it. They sell a $10 customization set that is, it's going to launch alongside it also on the 20th. And that comes with stencil sheets and sticker sheets and tape rolls so you can like completely make these things your own just visually. And everyone's is going to be different. It's going to be left up to, the child's imagination or, it doesn't have to be a child. Literally anyone can do this. So I think that is something that's flying a little bit under the radar. $10, pretty good, right? Like for a customization pack.
Yeah. And, you can do that all yourself. You could just grab your own stuff.
Oh, that's another like thing I didn't even think about. You can just, if you're artistic and you can just like draw like really well,
like
even
if you're not artistic, some kids
sure,
like freaking obsessed with Spider-Man. Put your crappy Spider-Man drawing on that, and now it takes on a whole different meaning. Yeah, this is really kind of, I think, ingenious. And I wanted to bring up 2 points that I saw on Twitter that I think are interesting. The first is sort of the negative, right? And it comes from David Martinez, who is he runs Raw Fury, which handles PR for some indie games. And he said, looks at Nintendo Lab, my kids will destroy that cardboard in a day, and then I'll have to buy more from Nintendo. They are going to make a killing. I didn't even think about that. Like, dang, what if that, like, how do you feel if you bring this home and your kids have fun with it, and then the first day the cardboard's like crunched to hell?
Yeah. I mean, obviously,
you can't really crunch a Guitar Hero guitar.
No, and I feel like we've been pretty positive overall, right? But we do understand the sentiment is going to be like automatically knee-jerk, hey, this is like really like weird and terrible, we hate this. We understand that, but I feel like we're trying to come at it from a different perspective and just see who it's catered for. I do think the cardboard is going to be strong. Like, will kids be able to break it? Absolutely. but I don't think it's gonna be like super flimsy or anything like that, right?
No, I mean, super flimsy? No, but like, say I'm jumping around and I'm 6 years old and I'm playing with the RC car and I step on it, that cardboard is probably gone.
Yeah, true.
Are we going to get a lot of calls in Nintendo like, this broke on the first day? Also, second tweet that I want to read you that I think is potentially the even funnier one comes from Jeff Gersman, who you guys probably all know who he is. He is the main man behind Giant Bomb, and he says, "Holy, this Nintendo Labo stuff is nuts. We got this in 4K now. These polygons are sick." And Nintendo is like, "Let's build a cardboard robot on 420."
Here again, those are making fun of what this is. Steve Tilley from the Toronto Sun. He writes that he actually got to play with this yesterday and that it's actually really cool. So people that are experiencing it are saying like, "Hey, it's actually really awesome." So let's wait. Let's wait until, press gets their hands on it or whoever, and let's make our decisions on what we feel when we know a little bit more. Again, at first blush, we understand weird, but yeah, like you said, maybe this is genius from Nintendo. Who knows?
I personally like it. I think it's so new, it's so different, and it's kind of toys to life, but in a very different sense, right? It's more like, I think what makes this cool from a kid standpoint. I have two younger brothers. I've grown up in a very youthful household. This is like, if they play their cards right. I look at the robot kit, for example. This is like getting to be the cool stuff. It's one thing to have the Skylander and throw them on the power portal and be like, woo. You get to ride and drive the motorcycle and feel physical feedback. You get to build an RC car and drive it around. You get to put on a robot suit and crush the city. They may tap into an imagination of children that now gifted this video game platform that can be wireless and can incorporate itself into these costumes or these pieces. You're basically having the kid become the thing. And that may be a genius move that we can't even see the potential for at this current stage.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot more to talk about when it comes to this. I feel like we're just scratching the surface, even though it's such a simple idea and we've seen so little. There's a lot of conversation to be had here. I'm sure we'll make follow-up videos, but yeah, cool stuff.
I want to just, before we do wrap, and definitely let us know your take in the comments down below. Super curious what you think of this, where your mind goes, how they take this, beyond what we've seen. Do you feel like this is like, hey, a menu and you pick from like 20 small activities? Do you feel like it's more Nintendo Land style and they're deeper activities but fewer of them? Do you feel like it's like play spaces? Like, okay, go to the robot land and you just kind of run around. Go to the house and you kind of like interactive spaces. Like, how do you think the game actually plays?
I mean, that's a good question. Unfortunately, we have such little footage to go off of, right? Like, we see the robot like smashing stuff, and we see like the fishing thing. I believe that the games are going to be like tiny, like smaller, like than anything Nintendo Land has. Like, the activities that you're going to have are going to be so limited, and they're going to be so simplistic. At least that's what I'm feeling, just because, like, this caters so young, like younger than anything Nintendo's ever done. So, yeah,
I don't know about that.
I mean, what have they done that's younger than cardboard? Like, I mean, this is like coloring on cardboard.
This is directly from Nintendo. For example, you can build a functioning 13-key piano that brings your musical creations to life once the Nintendo Switch console and Joy-Con controller are inserted. As you play, the IR motion camera in the right Joy-Con detects which keys are pressed and translates them into unique notes that are heard through the console. You can even take control of your very own motorbike by constructing a functioning set of handlebars. Simply hit the ignition button, turn the right handle to engage the accelerator, and watch your adventure unfold on the Nintendo Switch screen as you race to new destinations.
Yeah, so like a legit thing on the piano thing, like you're playing piano. That's it. I don't think there is like more game to it, really. Like, same with the fishing and like.
I mean, my only thing is the robot kit, right? The robot kit only comes with the robot. So for $80, if all it is you punching some city, like, there's got to be more, right? Like, it's got to be more gamey than that.
I mean, you'd like to think so, right? But
I mean, okay, maybe this is it. So for Variety Kit, Gabe, it says, you know what? I'll get into full detail, but I think you're right. It does look like it is limited activities, one per device or one per thing, whereas the Robot Kit says enjoy a variety of fun gameplay experiences.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think at some point when we have more information, like we have a deep dive about what the price, like how much game is there, right? And if there's not a lot, then you're selling extremely expensive cardboard.
Right. And I think the excitement is like, oh, if the games are cool, if the experiences are cool. The fear is, hey, if you have this great tech and this great idea, but the actual substance isn't there. I mean, honestly, Nintendo is going to come up against the same things that have plagued Kinect, plagued VR. Great ideas, right? The idea isn't the issue. It is the content that's the issue. Do you think that any other company taps into this, or do you think that it's just like a Nintendo one? Like, is there a scenario where like Ubisoft gets to design for Labo?
Depends on the success, right? If it comes out the gate really strong and it does really well, there's no way that other companies won't try to get in on it and like just make like Labo experiences. But like, here's like, and I'm gonna put this on screen for people to see. There's a GIF of you controlling like your Joy-Con with the Switch. Like you have a touchpad on the Switch and your Joy-Con are on like the Labo cardboard, and you're holding your actual Switch console and you're just controlling your Joy-Con around like a little like toy dog. Like there's so much weird stuff here. I'm telling you. Like I do think that this requires like a way deeper dive, even though we've been talking about it for almost 20 minutes. Yeah, and other companies, yes, I think they eventually come up with.
Yeah, does Nintendo view it like a platform or like a one-off? And I would say they view it more as like a one-off, like, hey, we're going to sell this kind of like a Rock Band or a Guitar Hero. But the fact that they put like Toy-Con 1, Toy-Con 2 leads me to believe that like come holiday season, there's Toy-Con 3 and 4.
Yeah, and again, I think it just depends on how well they do out the game.
I will also quickly note before we get out of here that I don't think this impacts negatively development of any other games, so that's usually a common sentiment when something like this is like, oh, why didn't they work on Pokemon? Why didn't they work? I don't think that this team was ever going to be making your traditional Pokemon RPG or your Metroid Prime 4 FPS. So fear not. That stuff still should come on schedule. And yeah, give us all your take and thoughts on Nintendo Labo. Okay, let's close, Gabe, with the name. Yay or nay on the name?
Can I pick neither? Like, I mean, I'm so indifferent about it. Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Amiibo, Labo.
Yeah.
They like bow.
They do.
Next up, Switch Bow. Subscribe to Switch Force Bow to get all your news bow, and we'll bring you all of that bow soon. We'll hopefully get a chance to get our hands on Labo before it comes out. We'll bring you that coverage, and if there's any future gameplay videos or demonstrations, we got you covered. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/theswitchforce to talk about these crazy announcements and whatever else comes next with us and the rest of the community, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Switch Force out.